Featuring Rocket League, we're about to get this thing underway for Europe.
Oh yeah, this is an exciting first matchup, to be honest. I think mainly because we're all gonna get our question answered of how does KCorp look. We haven't gotten to see them in a little while. Of course, they missed out on the last major, and it's just been this really wavy, rocky battle for them over in EU. So we all know what they're capable of, but on the flip side of things, I mean, you can't count out WYLDE. Like Crelly said, this is a team that, you know, we've heard of for years. It's just a matter of finding that right combination for them, and so there's a chance that this could be it.
Yeah, and if you are KCorp, you've got that target on your back. These other squads, they're sitting here saying, okay, yes, you're the clear-cut favorites. That means you have to play like it, and you have to be on point at all times, because every single one of these teams, they are coming for the crown that KCorp is currently wearing. But I know that KC definitely want to go through this one clean, because like I said, the other squads that we've seen, the other top teams in each region, they haven't dropped a series yet.
No, they have not. So yeah, right now, I will say for those first 40 seconds to be scoreless, that's not a bad shot from WYLDE. They have had to play a fair bit of defense so far. Not too bad. Rise gonna pinch this one down off the ground, back up to himself. Just trying to work around WYLDE, but WYLDE knows you gotta play a pretty fast game against KCorp, and for the time being, they've been able to match their energy not too roughly.
Yeah, I mean, KCorp is one of the most gifted all-around squads. I mean, when you look at them individually, I mean, you look at what this squad has done, what they've all achieved. It's just really honestly incredible whenever you get a squad of this many talented players to just be able to witness it. And honestly, remember it while it lasts, because so many awesome rosters in Rocket League, they're there and then they're gone, and then you're like, man, that was a great squad. Don't you remember that squad? So we got to appreciate them while they're here, and this is definitely one of my favorite rosters that's been put together in Europe.
Honestly, valid. Yeah, I will say KCorp is one of those teams that is stuck together for a minute holy double off the ground, but that's a great save from Nosaki too. Just great patience on it. Quick counter from Goffs. Was that a bump play to take him off of it? I saw Rise's initial touch, but Goffs reset over a Tau. It's just a rough landing for Rise.
Yeah, definitely a rough one for sure. But either way, WYLDE respond with the counterattack and are able to get on the board first. So, I mean, we talked about it. I mean, hey, listen, they're going to be coming in ready to roll and showing it already. WYLDE getting the first one in this Community Cup. It's going to be feeling great for them. Because like you stated, if you're able to keep KCorp from getting that first goal, that's going to be massive for you.
It really is, and the same thing can be said, though, that you have to be prepared for what the response is going to be. You can see how quickly things are coming out already. The pass and play, the double, the follow-up from a Tau. I expected a response quickly. I didn't know how fast, but great control from Vatira to really center that up off the backboard for a Tau, and there you have it. Just like that, KCorp tie up game one.
Yeah, all three players for KCorp getting involved there. You see the assist coming out, then the demo coming through just to make sure there's not going to be that second defender there. KCorp almost able to punch in a second one, but it's going to be heading back the other way. Atau's going to need to clear this one, and he's going to be able to right off of the post. My goodness, Atau. That was an incredible save. Nice clutch up. Trying to make sure that they have at least a tie game halfway through this one.
A couple of crazy setups here from WYLDE, but again, like you said, you got to give it to KCorp defensively. This is one of the best teams, not only in Europe, but at one point in time in the entire world. They're just, again, trying to get themselves back on that same footing and connection that they had before. But for now, it looks like they're getting back into it. Rise fakes the reset, uses it late, delayed into the net, and KCorp take that lead.
Yeah, I mean, this is just insane. From Rise gets the reset and says, I'll take it all the way. Guides it right over the blast defender. Man, KCorp, like we stated, they can show flashes of brilliance in an instant.
Well, I mean, I would not expect less. This, again, at one point in time, this was the G2 of Europe, so they have more than have the capability to really find themselves. And like I said, I mean, side stuff out there, but on Twitter, they've all three been just talking about how motivated they've been to try and refine their footing and connection with each other again. And it seems to have been working in their time off a little bit here. And, you know, honestly, props to them for playing in this. I know a lot of the times top teams really just want to, continue to take their break and just focus on scrims. But KarmingCorp, they want to win every opportunity given to them right now.
I mean, sometimes you got to look at, community cups like this and say, you know what, sometimes this is the best scrims that we can get because we're able to potentially try new things. We're able to, maybe also get some really good competition. You're able to see, what happens when people are absolutely giving their 100% all against you, because if a top team's playing against another top team, like you stated, they might hold back a little bit. They might do just what's the bare minimum, what's, just enough what's necessary to win, and I think that right there is a big thing, is if KarmingCorp are able to use these community cups to get better and prepare for the Esports World Cup featuring Rocket League that's coming up, then they're going to be in a really good state as a team.
Yeah, we will definitely see them in their next event, whenever that is. But for now, 34 seconds into this one, shot on target. Tao sends this one off about mid. Goffs getting chased down by Rise there. Follow-up is coming on. Great save from Nowasaki. 22 on the clock. And I gotta commend WYLDE on their counters. Their saves have been fairly consistent, but the fact that they are able to transition out as fast as they have been is a great sign, especially when playing against KC.
Yeah, I mean, overall, a super close game for sure played out from WYLDE in game number 1. I mean, able to get the first goal. Yes, KarmingCorp answered back, but it wasn't an easy road to victory here. Going to be still leaning forward on the edge of their seats a little bit, saying, all right, this squad, they aren't going to give it to us easy. We gotta put it all together still, even against a squad like this, like WYLDE, because they're going to be giving it their absolute all. And oh man, almost starting off early. KarmingCorp again, but another save going to be coming through from Goffs.
I will give it to them. Their kickoff strats are pretty intense to have to defend against. So WYLDE just playing patient game. Same with Vatira, was trying to get around last, but back into the middle we go. Here comes a Tao. 50 goes to the sidewalk here. Vatira is going to take it. Enough boost in the tank past tempo. Angle off the crossbar, in, out. And I got to give it to KarmingCorp. That was a decent amount of pressure. About 30 seconds of that was probably all them.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like they're going to be letting up anytime soon as Vatira takes this one up. Goffs is going to be able to intercept this one, trying to get the clear out. It looks like they're going to be successful, but just for how long is just like that? KarmingCorp getting possession, send it off the backboard up to the side, and Rise going to pop this one up, just give themselves an opportunity and a chance, gets it centered. It gets snuffed down by Noah. He's able to pinch it down on the ground for the save, and now Tao trying to figure out exactly how to get this one back into the center, but not able to find that, as WYLDE's defense has been able to stop the pressure coming in from KC, and just off of the pressure, Nowasaki able to take it all down with the help from the demo.
That is such a clear-cut play, too. I got to give it to him. Nowasaki, the original part of that play, though, is him just completely breaking ankles on a Tao, but the demo, the only reason that one found its way through. Great teamwork and, honestly, a play put together from WYLDE first on the board. We've seen this, though, and those responses from KarmingCorp tend to come in pretty quickly, and they're already working their way to try and respond.
Yeah, and Goffs, looking to win out that challenge, is going to be able to stop the momentum just slightly. Right now, KarmingCorp find themselves down yet again in another game. So the question is, are they going to be able to answer back again and have WYLDE learn from their mistakes? And it looks like they have, because they're going to be improving their advantage to 2-0.
Yeah, it's really just about beating out that last defender there, and tempo's speed on this one. Rise just can't quite match it, unfortunately. Just facing backwards. KarmingCorp down by 2 with 3:22 left to go. They've had a decent amount of pressure against WYLDE. The thing that's really just been hindering them is WYLDE's quick transitions. That is what's beat them out twice now. So KarmingCorp got to try and formulate some sort of a plan of their own to respond to this one. Off the ceiling, a Tao pinched to the ground, tried to find Vatira, but the intercepts from WYLDE are just too consistent.
Yeah, the play was definitely there. Great chance for KarmingCorp, but the defense has been very solid. That clear almost goes directly into the net. Nice save coming in from Tempo to keep things at a cushion for WYLDE. So Tao tried to get a touch onto it, wasn't able to. Gonna have to re-corral this one. Vatira able to pop it up nicely, but not able to get the block, as this one's gonna go right back into the KarmingCorp half. And KarmingCorp having to start over so many times on the offensive end in this game number 2. Gotta give it up to WYLDE, honestly. They've been playing an exceptional game number 2.
Oh yeah, I don't think anybody counted them out. I think it was more expected that this was going to be maybe a 3-0 or a 3-1, but extremely close. That's the key word, is how close each individual game is going to be. Again, KarmingCorp haven't quite looked up, like themselves in the past, and it doesn't mean that they're playing bad by any means. It just means it isn't quite as a shutout as it used to be before. And you see Tempo, that touch there, pops that one up, forces KarmingCorp to just retry again. Vatira, very low on boost. A lot of these shots have been high. So that's not a great sign for KarmingCorp if you want to try and find 2 goals in the next minute 40-ish or so there. But it also is going to be a lot harder if this turns into 3.
Very much so, as the pressure right now from Wild is mounting, but the defense is strong, holding for KarmingCorp. And now back the other way. This is the counterattack that Wild have to be weary of. This is how they could potentially get back into this game. There we go. Vatira able to get it past one. Just got to get it past another. Is going to be able to, but not going to be on target. There comes the center out. Rise, can he get the center? Looks like a pass right back to Atau. He wasn't quite ready to take a shot on goal. Is, man, off the backboard. That one's going to be a little bit dangerous for Wild. They're going to need to figure out how to get this clear, and they are going to be able to by the skin of their teeth. Wow, that was another close call. KarmingCorp, they are putting it on them, but Wild are holding strong.
Yeah, they've been doing fairly well as far as defending a lot of these shots from KarmingCorp are coming their way. But I do gotta admit, KarmingCorp, like you said, there's a little bit of hesitation on a couple of these shots, mainly just because out of frustration, they're just trying to keep that pressure consistent. It just hasn't quite been the cleanest. Like we've seen, a couple of these shots have been very, very high, wide. They're slow floaters out to the corner there. Nothing really quite turning into a play, which turns these into decently easy saves for Wild. But Vatira, 0 boost. Atau's up next, another interceptive touch. It's just really Wild playing a close man-to-man game right now that is frustrating KarmingCorp, and then they're kind of just beating out themselves.
Yeah, it seems like they're just kind of throwing paint at a wall and hoping something sticks right now, and absolutely nothing is, as that's going to be Wild picking up a game. So we got ourselves a tied-up series in a best-of-5, and that's going to be huge for their confidence. I mean, it's going to massively boost it if you are the side of Wild. And if you're KarmingCorp, you understand how important this first goal can be. You do not want to give up that momentum that you're starting to build up, and here we go. Just like that, already a nice shot going to be coming in from Rise, barely off the post.
It's so hard because they have so many very, very quality opportunities that they create from themselves. It's not even that they're being handed them. They are literally creating them. But right now, accuracy has just been a hindrance and a thorn in their side. It has got to be beyond frustrating to have had so many chances, and just it is right off the post, right off the crossbar, and then Wild quickly just take a turnaround. They clear it out, and their follow-ups are so quick that KarmingCorp, again, they are having to match Wild's pace right now, which is something very different for them.
Yeah, and it's really awesome to watch, honestly. Now we have to see exactly how KarmingCorp are going to be able to adjust in this series overall, because Wild definitely overall have the momentum, even though it is a tied series, as Vatira almost able to get it past one, but Goff's able to save that one at the last second. So another clear going to be coming in from Wild. He gets it past Rise over to the backboard, and nothing going to be there just quite yet for Wild, but still able to stop the pressure that KarmingCorp started to build up.
I do like a lot of these demos coming out. You see Vatira, he was up. I think he got like 1 or 2, but just forcing Wild to be sent back in their own half, allowing KarmingCorp to transition out. That is a great plan at this point, especially if you're getting boxed in for so long. But the problem is Wild is returning the aggression, and it's forcing KarmingCorp's plays to get cut off in its tracks, and it's a lot harder for them to find each other. So Vatira off the ceiling, going to attempt a solo play off this one. It's a great shot, but an even better save from Goffs.
Yeah, now Rise going to be rising on up, trying to set up an opportunity for himself, but the demo comes out and the defense still there. I mean, that's been really the story of the last 10 minutes or so, has been KarmingCorp having these incredible setups, these incredible chances, but the defense from Wild barely able to hang on and keep it at bay. So right here, Vatira and KarmingCorp, they need to find something. They need to find something to give themselves a little bit of hope in this game number 3.
I will say, you know, KorpCorp, a lot of their bread and butter are passing plays, and usually it is to the backboard followed with somebody's psycho follow-up. The thing is, WYLDE is very aware of that, and they have done a great job of just cutting KorpCorp off. A lot of just these single touches just completely stop a play in its tracks. So solo plays might be the answer. You might have to continue to send Vatira up to try and find a couple of those demos, open up some sort of a path for Rise or a Tau there. But for now, WYLDE, they just continue to fling that ball towards that backboard. This time it gets handed straight on back, but 2 minutes to go and completely scoreless on the board here. Pressure clearly is starting to build up. It's just a question of who's going to be the first to crack.
Yeah, you can feel it with both of these squads. Neither one wants to be the first one to give up that early goal. Both squads playing a little bit more safe. Not sorry is another shot coming out for Tau. Not able to convert. Noasaki there on the defensive end. WYLDE trying to get the clear out of their half, and they are going to be able to. Here comes the counterattack yet again. This one's going to be going off the backboard, off to the side. Noasaki able to get a touch to it. Can he find the center? No, takes the shot himself instead. That one's going to get recentered in another opportunity, but Vatira is on the line, able to keep that one from going in. And if WYLDE would have gotten that one right there, I mean, shoot. If you're KorpCorp now, you're really starting to get some hot water.
Oh, yeah. It definitely could have been over right there. I even just... Oh, man. Every opportunity from KorpCorp, though, it just feels decently and of quality, but the WYLDE defense, they are so patient and in terms of making sure every touch lands. So I got to give it to them. A minute left to go. It is fairly equal with WYLDE just a little bit ahead in terms of control on this game number 3 right here. But whoever takes this one, you're headed to match point. So it's a fairly big deal. Goss off the backboard, just trying to keep this one out. And again, looking for those clears. That's a great challenger from Rise. This one doesn't find its way on in though. And 38 on the clock. KorpCorp finally, all the pressure in the world. It's a center and nothing to find its way in.
I thought that was going to be it for sure. That was so dangerous in front of the WYLDE net. It was one of the few opportunities where there really wasn't anyone there to put a hand up. Oh my goodness! The pass and play down to tempo. That was almost absolutely insane coming in from WYLDE. Something that KorpCorp almost wasn't ready for, but last second saves yet again are the name of the game in this one. It's got overtime written all over it, but we've seen a lot of 0-second goals, and who knows, this might be another one. A Tau gonna be leaving it off for a teammate. Demo comes out. Are they gonna be able to keep it up? That's the question. No, they aren't. We're heading to OT.
Yeah, this one hits the ground. We're gonna see ourselves in a very high pressure OT at that. Off the kickoff, falls into the hands of Rise. Half a tank of boost to work with, reset over 1, but Goffs really has been that difference maker defensively. Just every single touch he throws out there, it lands against KC. And Noasaki just trying to drive his team forward. It works. Tempo up next to the ceiling, to the backboard. Great read from Vatira. And KorpCorp just slowly, as time goes on, getting boxed in their half, but a clear gives them breathing room.
Great clear for sure. And I mean, in these OTs, those clears are massive. You don't want that pressure mounting up for 20, 30, 45 seconds, even a minute sometimes is what KorpCorp were able to do. But really, WYLDE have done a good job of making sure that those, constant onslaughts from KorpCorp haven't been able to come through. And, WYLDE have really been the ones able to put a lot of pressure onto KorpCorp, surprisingly, in this game number 3. And KorpCorp having to play a little bit of defense, probably a little more than they were expecting, honestly. But hey, props to WYLDE for being able to put the pressure onto them. It's another great chance coming in for KorpCorp.
I mean, you can see Vatira lurking on that third man too. He didn't go for the demo off that one. It could have actually opened something there, but instead, just a nice clean shot. Another save from Noasaki. That demo came through though. Now it's a 2v1 Rise and Vatira on tempo. Tempo coming out successful still though. And like you said, WYLDE, they're playing a lot of defense. The same can be said for KorpCorp. The difference is WYLDE has just been so much cleaner, mainly because they've had to, save what feels like a million times more shots than what KorpCorp has had to do. WYLDE, has just been playing a little bit more of a patient game right now, letting these shots come to them, be thrown at their faces, and then wait for those transitions out.
Yeah, I mean, KorpCorp are well above double digits when it comes to shots on target so far, and the fact that WYLDE have been able to hold it off, just super impressive all around. As you can see yet again, more bumps coming out, but that one not able to connect to give KarmingCorp that lead. Oh my goodness, that would have been massive if they could have gotten that lead in the series right there off that one. A big sigh of relief for them for sure, but they're not able to get it yet again. And Wild, hang on, they are still in this, man.
I mean, that's what I like about EU so much, is that you really cannot count anybody out. I mean, that goes to show for pretty much every single region, but this is one of the closer ones. And here comes Atao again, another shot on target sent off by Nowasaki, and I gotta just hand it to Wild. Again, I talked about that patient game there. You saw it turned into a 1v1. This one off the ceiling, dropped down from Nowasaki.
That was so perfect.
And this one finds its way in. And that is the exact play that I was waiting to see happen again. Wild, they let those shots get taken at them. And then when there was that one opportunity to clear, they do so. But the follow-ups are just so fast right now that KarmingCorp just kind of struggling to having a solid follow-up to that long touch. So right now, KC, they've had their quality shots, their quality plays, their passing plays that everybody knows and love. The problem is the closeout is what is missing. So Wild on match point here in game number 4, looking to close things out and send KarmingCorp run into the other side of the bracket.
Will you be able to do it, Wild? Can you do what some people might consider the impossible, but you probably came in today thinking that this is highly probable. We might be able to shock the world, take out this squad, send them down to that lower side of the bracket where, I mean, anything can happen down there. We have seen some gnarly series go down in that elimination matchup to see who makes it into Sunday. So you don't want to be in that position, whether you're the favorite or not.
No, you definitely don't. I mean, it doesn't matter how good you are. Nobody wants to lose their first series, like we've talked about. If you win that first one, it just makes the weekend so much easier for you. This is a floater, though, from Vatira, pass from Atao. And that is some hope for KC and the fans.
Yeah, a lot of hope, a lot of needed hope as well, because, I mean, the first goal hasn't went their way now 3 times in a row. So if they are finally able to get the 4th, I mean, that's definitely going to be feeling good for this squad. So if they can keep this one rolling and in their control, then who knows, we might be pushed to a game 5 in our first series.
It's very, very possible. Here comes Vatira around the corner. This one sent off Nowasaki. Goff's going to pop this one up. And that is a great one from Rise. Takes it away, 50s it down, keeps it in favor of KarmingCorp, but gets demoed back for his effort forward. Pass center, Vatira. This one's high and wide. He tries to double it to keep that pressure on, but rest of KarmingCorp backed off and just in preparation of any of those wild clears that we've been seeing for the past few games.
Yeah, now it's going to be up to Wild to answer the call, and not quite able to, because this pressure coming in from KarmingCorp, it is starting to really pay dividends for them, as finally they're able to find some cracks in this Wild defense that it seems so strong through 3 games.
Yeah, it looked crazy strong. They looked like a literal wall. Every single inch of that net was covered defensively, and KarmingCorp just could never find their way through. But as time is going on, they're starting to find their way through with a little bit more ease than they have in the past. Last time they looked this good was game number 1, so this is a great sign for KarmingCorp, although Wild now has that pressure, immediately gets it taken away. This one stays mid here in tempo, gonna place it back blue side. And again, it's just a lot of bumps, a lot of, struggle to try and hold on to this ball and keep it close. The difference is KarmingCorp isn't giving Wild the time to do what they did before.
Yeah, no time, and running out of space as well, as they are just being suffocated right now. Not able to get any positive momentum just quite. That doesn't mean they won't be able to. We've seen Wild answer back and, be able to have some opportune moments, but just like this, I mean, Atao gonna take full advantage of his opportunity on a wide open net, and not gonna be missing that anytime, any day.
I love this play from Rise and Atao, because I think it was tempo that was last on defense there. Rise's first flick over Nowasaki was crazy, but delaying it and forcing tempo to take a guess on who was gonna make the touch was pretty nuts there, and creative. I gotta give him that style points off that here, but great bump on Goffs. Keeping Wild just disconnected from each other is going to be really important here if you want to continue to hold on to that 3-0 lead.
Yeah, tempo tried to go for, looked like a psycho attempt. would have maybe caught Karmine Corp off guard, as they did have all three players cheating up just a tad bit. And having that 3-0 advantage going to be making Karmine Corp feel a little bit more comfortable. Maybe going to be trying to, put the foot on the Wild's necks a little bit. Let them know that, hey, listen, we are the big dog for a reason, and you will respect us. If they can get a fourth one here, that'll be massive for their ego, for their pride, if you will, heading into this game number 5. I'm sure Karmine Corp understands that pushing it to that game 5, it's not guaranteed that they're going to be walking away with that victory. Wild have been showing that they've got that grit. They've got everything necessary to be able to take them out in that potential elimination game. As the center comes in, the cross was there, but just barely off target for Wild.
Yeah, pretty wide shot off that one. Great follow-up, though, for Karmine Corp. Finally doing back to Wild what's been happening to them. Those first shots coming through, but Karmine Corp taking it away off the backboard. One of the few times we've seen Wild get caught off the defense, which meant that backboard wasn't as, pre-prepped to be protected right there, which is an easy, surefire way to get your follow-up shots on in. And you talk about confidence. 4-0 is a pretty confident way to be headed in, to the rest of this game number 4 here. You got just over a minute for Wild to find something. It's been quite a while since they've been able to take a couple decent shots, and 5-0 really just says absolutely not. We are headed to game 5.
Yeah, this is a statement right here from KC. They are really letting Wild know that, listen, you're not going to be taking us down. But this is important for Karmine Corp because they didn't want this to be, a one-goal game, in overtime, a super close game heading into this game number 5, because that's going to, make Wild feel like, what, we've got this. But if they're able to put down a dominant performance in game number 4 like they are, I mean, that's just kind of demoralizing to Wild a little bit. I'm sure Wild might be thinking, man, like we had their number. What happened? Are we going to be able to keep this one going into that game 5? They're just scoring at will on us, and right now Karmine Corp making it look easy compared to these first 3 games.
Yeah, they definitely are doing a lot better, playing a little bit closer to Wild. So when that first touch goes off of any of the players' cars as far as Wild is going, Karmine Corp is right there ready to take it away and turn it into some sort of a play. And that speed is the difference maker between now and what we saw in the last 2 games. Karmine Corp really just finding themselves again here in this game number 4. Great big clear. Goff's going to try and stop it. Him and Tempo going to work together to just honestly find anything in this last few moments, because to be fair, Karmine Corp are playing the more exhausting game. They are trying to, come back into this one completely in general. Yes, I know this one's bouncing in, but at the same time, Wild is aware that it is a longer series for Karmine Corp to get back into, but the fact that they are doing it is a great thing.
Yeah, I mean, that 7-0 advantage, we're not going to be seeing a Brazil here, more than likely. I don't know if Wild's going to be able to get on the board, but, I mean, my goodness, this is a lot to handle right here if you are Wild. This is an onslaught coming in from KC. As, yet again, it's going to be Karmine Corp needing to clutch up. They did it one time. Will they be able to do it again? That's the big question. In a game 5 where so much is on the line. I mean, if Karmine Corp win that one, then they'll be feeling great heading into that matchup to potentially guarantee themselves top 4 and a piece of that prize pool. But if you lose this game 5, that is where things was
in their more successful matches. But as far as KC's going, Rise right now, that is my player that I'm kind of waiting to see, get into the swing of things. He's been teed up so many times with, unfortunately, just more misses than hits. And I think once Rise kind of gets into that there a little bit, Karmine Corp, we could be seeing another 7-0.
Okay, fair enough. I got my eyes on Vatira personally. Vatira, he has so many clutch plays, Rise as well, but I mean, Vatira seems like he's really that glue for this squad. Whenever they need something incredible to happen, he's got a part in it somehow, some way, whether it's the assist, whether it's the pass, and already, just like that, Vatira having the nice assist setup potential for Karmine Corp, as this one might go in. Vatira going to be getting the first goal of the game in this so important best of 5.
And this is what I was talking about, right? I really wanted to see Rise get a lot more involved. That is a crazy center, because I think it was into a bump just to completely free up the net there for Vatira. So great teamwork, crazy amount of aggression. They're going to try it again off the rip here from the kickoff. No follow-up to be seen. A couple demos sending Karmine Corp back into their own half. And Wild really just trying to force this one through. They make their way into that blue side. But for now, they just continue. They're getting sent back more times than not.
Yeah, without those early demos off the kickoff, it probably would have been a 2-0, a very quick 2-0. But oh my goodness, Goffs with the clear, able to send it all the way over the defense. And I mean, yeah, nobody's able to get back in time. I mean, that's just a little bit of an overcommittal coming in from KC.
Yeah, and I've seen this a few times from KCorp already where, you know, they are, of course, they wanted to play very heavily aggressive to kind of just get back into the swing of things there, but you do have to be fairly attentive to the fact that a lot of those wild clears will be on target. So if it has the speed, it's most likely going to find its way on through. So KCorp definitely going to adjust to that a little bit here as time goes on. But for now, an attempted beat out from Rise. Nowasaki saves this one, sends it off out mid. Tao's follow-up, though. This one will go in. Too fast to shut down, and KCorp take a lead.
Yeah, actually kind of set it up perfectly for Tao. I mean, Tao really just read this one, honestly. Like, it wasn't really much that, you know, the player from Wild could do with it. I think it was Nowasaki could do with it right there. So, I mean, just a great read coming in from KC. Going to be able to take that one away, and now going to be looking to build on this lead, this advantage that they've got. Yet again, Tao going to be putting in another one, 3-1 advantage. And right here, if you're Wild, this is where you got to turn on that defense that was so good in those first 3 games. You got to really bring it back and say, where is it? Because we need it right here and now.
Oh, yeah. Wild definitely, you know, looked like they were scrambling a little bit. Even off the kickoff, it was a little questionable sending 2 people up off it and then getting caught out like that. But KCorp, if you are a fan of them, you are excited to see them kind of getting into their swing of things and feeling themselves a little bit. It's how pass over to Rise. This one sent off by Tempo. Again, that player that defensively really has kept Wild, you know, ahead of the curve in some key moments here. And Goffs makes a really tight angle to keep Wild in the series.
That was exactly what they needed when they needed it the most. And my goodness, I mean, a crazy angle. We've seen these angles coming in from the corners, and that right there was just another one, a thing of beauty coming out. And now Wild within 1. They have a chance. It's not over yet.
No, it's definitely not over here. KCorp gonna have to be prepared that Wild's gonna make a pretty solid push. And to be fair, less than 3 minutes is still a very, very long time. So a lot of things could happen. This 150's back into the hands of Goffs. Vatira tries to disrupt it, but touch goes forward. Here comes a Tao. Over 1. Vatira going to try and continue the follow-up. And double commit from Wild to just make sure this one's out. I mean, granted, yes, it's low boost, and you're just trying to help each other out in those few moments there, but that is just, it opens up too much space to allow KCorp to go through. They saw a little bit. They saw some light in the tunnel there, and it's just straight shots from Vatira. Crazy pressure coming through, and a 2-goal lead for KC.
Yeah, Vatira yet again clutching up for this squad. It looked a little bit shaky there for a second. It looked like maybe Wild might be able to come back into this one, and my goodness, Rise just plays bully ball in the front lines and is able to beat him out. Just look at this. Tempo, he tried to stop it, but the momentum from Vatira, or from Rise, excuse me, was just a little too much.
Actually nasty. Rise getting back into it the way he does. Just a low, musty 50. 5-2. KCorp trying to run away with things, recreate what they did in game number 4 as best as they can. Rise off the ceiling, reset over 1 to the backboard, double and in. Rise is back.
Yikes. My goodness, this is absolutely nasty work coming in from Rise off the backboard and finds the angle. My goodness, Wild probably just got to sit back and shake their heads and, I mean, honestly, just sit back in awe. That was incredible right there coming in from Rise.
That was so disgusting again, and that is why that was my player to watch. We were missing that from him in those first few games there. He had so many opportunities, it just went wayside, but same can be said for Goffs. In 2 minutes, guys, you guys cannot count out Wild, obviously, for the most part. We know that, but they're trying their darnest to get back into this one. Great play there from Goffs, finds his way on through, sneaks it in under Rise, and Wild cuts that lead in half.
Yeah, Wild are going to need a goal about every 40 seconds if they want to get back into this one. which is going to be much easier said than done against this KC roster that understands the exact situation that they're in this game 5. Up 3 goals, just needing to play solid defense. Don't need to overcommit and, you know, let another potential shot come in for WYLDE, just like the last one did.
Yeah, you definitely got to play a little bit more of a patient game if you're KarmingCorp, because then this is going to happen. You saw those first few saves coming through. KarmingCorp looked pretty collected with themselves, but that first 50 beat out onto a towel just meant you just need one person to rush. That's what they do. They sent Goffs up. WYLDE finds their way onto the board, now only trailing by 2 with 1:37. This is starting to look a little bit more dangerous. KarmingCorp needs something right here, over to the corner of that first shot. Not a great sign. And Nowasaki low on boost, Rise's touch, at least gonna slow things down a little bit here, but WYLDE looking like they're getting back into it.
Yeah, as the dangerous cross comes in, but Nowasaki's going to be there, gets the clear. Is this going to be enough? Does it have enough juice on it? No! As the towel's going to be there, just barely on time to save this one away. I thought that might have been another clear from the defense of WYLDE, turning into a potential goal, and that would have been tragic for KarmingCorp. With now just a minute remaining, KarmingCorp definitely don't want to give up this goal. They want to keep that cushion as long as possible. The double attempt coming in for KarmingCorp, but it is going to be stopped, held at the line as Tempo takes it on up. Going to need to get it past Vatira, but Vatira wins out that challenge and is going to be able to break up this offensive play. Going to be coming in for WYLDE, at least for now, but Goffs yet again able to get the center, gets the touch. Can he get it around the last defender? No. Another center coming out, and yet again, chances on chances for WYLDE to find an opportunity to get back into this game, but just nothing has come out of it quite yet in such a high-scoring game number 5.
Yeah, you can play all the solid, crazy defense you want, but if you aren't able to find your way through into the net there, it doesn't do too much for you. Vatira gonna just slow this one down. You pretty much just have to make a couple touches to yourselves, but 1 second to go, 0 on the clock. KarmingCorp, they had a rough beginning of this series here, but they fought and found their way back into it. 6-4.